Right, hello. It's been a little while, and this branch took quite some time. This is the branch vlog for 0.2.0.7. So this one you've got here, the normal maps v2. I'll go over like a broad detail of what this branch entailed, and then I'll blast through all these. So very much originally, my normal maps used this Sprite bit of software, and let's say I just grab, let's get something, let's get anything. Let's pick the diffuse map of this, so texture map. I would then do file, scripts, edge normals. Yeah, it's not ideal. It works if there's like holes in the texture, like alpha. So like this, it's like alpha. So if there's these sort of holes in it, it will edge normal the holes. But also, it's upside down, which I guess for Unreal normal maps that's fine. DirectX, where you see the colours, like the bottom colours should be normally at the top and top should be at the bottom. For like OpenGL and like classic normal maps, like the pictures you see. However, Unreal does it upside down, but this was helpful for the time being, but I needed to put some detail into it. So going from that to hand drawing everything, let's see, let's get it up side by side so you can see. There you go. So that one is the edge normal script doing its magic, and this one is me doing it. As you can see also, it's the right way up in the colours. Imagine doing this but for everything. So that's what I've been doing. I did not do normal maps for the NPCs, your own character, or the enemies, simply because there's a vast amount of sprites for like my main character, well, the main character in the game, and also it is a version 3 character, but it hasn't had any polish, so I didn't want to normal map, hand draw 300 sprites. Like, just to begin with 300 sprites, will be more going forward with the extra bits. I don't hand draw all that, then to just hand draw it again. So, NPCs, your own character, and the enemies are not normal mapped. Everything else you see is, some of it's better than others. As you can imagine, it's an iterative process. So I did the doors first, so the doors might not look as nuanced in the lighting compared to, say, the desks, which look a bit snazzier with the lighting. I'll go through a full run through of the game after I've just done these bits and pieces on the right. So there was an issue with, just save it. There was an issue with these stalls defaulting as someone in them. I'll show you in a minute, but essentially this is invisible if no one's in it. It goes blue if you're in it, and it goes red if an enemy's in it. It's a placeholder for something where you'll still know someone's in it. It's almost like you come in, it's like a privacy wall, but like a fancy technical privacy wall. This is very much a placeholder for that. So if I play it now, let me put the light on. You see, now it's fine. And then if he goes in it, I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the new lighting. No, it's too dark. Essentially, there is a colour difference. But yeah, so you can see the normal maps, like, it's a bit nicer. A few more details kind of stand out. Not perfect just yet, but much, much better than, as you can imagine, those flat textures on Sprite. So there's that one. Bathroom, say CR instead of CB, so yeah, fixed it. Invert normal maps, yeah, so if I show you the normal maps, no interact box, You see, you import the normal maps and that's fine, and then you flag it as normal map here and that's fine, but then you still need to put a filter on as nearest so it treats it like pixel by pixel, and then you also need to flip the normal map because that's how it's expecting to see it. So if you use this normal map that you've just made and you import it, Unreal's gonna like trash it essentially. Because if you draw classic normal maps like open file location, one sec, I don't want to load up Photoshop just to show you it. If you draw classic normal maps like this, that is not going to align with what you're seeing there. That's the right way to do it. To get it the right way, you need to flip the green, and you still think like, Nick, it's purple at the top though. That's not right. Purple's the bottom. It flips it to adjust itself from the correct way, or the OpenGL way of normal maps, to the DirectX way of normal maps. So that's why it imports. It looks upside down. It doesn't look right. Like if I find that normal map, you'll see what it's doing. 1 second. There's definitely more to be learned in doing nuanced, and I might not even have the perfect settings here, but they're alright for now. If I just get, because this is how it looks. Oh, whoops. That's how I've done it. So as you can imagine, that's how it's meant to look. So there might be more work to look at this. It might be fine. I need to investigate, but for the time being, if I just get the sprite version of it, you can see like no lighting. So you can see the details. This was not the world's best normal map either. I was quite lazy. I just made it generic, dark left, bright top, and then I did just like an X through it. Nothing special. I could have made it absolutely better if I wanted to. It's a minor asset, so I just wanted. Well, I've managed to complete this branch with a day's time. So yeah, some of it was just didn't get as much love as the others, but still better than like a blanket plain normal map on our sprite with edge normals. Double keyboard and guard post, yeah. So I knew I faffed with this. This is my doing. I faffed with it just before the call. Put that on 0. They're too high. Yeah. It's because I've moved a bunch of sprites to bottom centered angle rather than center. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let me just align these up. There's always something. But it's good. It's good testing anyway. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, not ideal, but getting there. I'll show you what I mean with the bottom thing. You click it. You see that X? If I import that, this little thing, that the axis controller, whatever it's called, is there. It's bottom center. It default imports it as center, which might be alright for some stuff, but it's not alright if you want to just zero out stuff. So I just like zeroed out the floor. You see 0, and then this is 0, and that is 0, and is this one 0? 0. This one 5. Okay. So not everything is truly zeroed out, but this way, because it's bottom center rather than center, I can do that, and that's why you saw these things had been moved, because I switched a bunch of assets around and I blanketed bottom center on them. So that's now fixed. There was a double keyboard here, that's gone. needs a little bit more love, but it is getting there. Stick on that for now. You know, it's not perfect, is it? But there we go. Let's save that. Wrong place start, kitchen's hallway. Yep, I just renamed it wrong. It's fine. I do bugs at the top, by the way. I've tried to keep that going, and then it goes in like number order. Oh, stray old assets. Yes, in the Protagonist Bathroom Level, I had a bunch of assets because I'd made like the big hallway level. Interesting. Yeah, I made the big hallway level and then I cut it down when I first started doing it. This is a bug. This isn't my doing because their kitchen assets, just like the stove you saw, I deleted that asset, and in some of the levels, it's re-imported the original kitchen assets, and I know for a fact that like, why would I ever have a stove in here? Let's see if it's kitchen's still fine. Yeah, you see how it's got like the same sort of shape. That one shouldn't be up there. It's done something weird with the kitchen assets. It's mass re-imported them, but it's beside the point. I'll investigate that later. New folders, yeah, so now the items are in interact collect, interact no collect, and scenery. So if we look here, originally I had sprite folder and had all the sprites, and then raw, and that had all the textures, normal maps, and diffuse maps, so like v1 normal maps. I've since upgraded every single one. Every single one has its own folder, so it's like the barbell is raw, and they're all here. Realistically, I should have separated that between different sizes of the barbell, but I've just kept this barbell. Some of them are separated, so you got like alt 1 default clothes, like a pile of clothes. So I've done this for every single thing. As you can imagine, it's quite self-explanatory. So some of the no interact will eventually have an interact, but I've put it down as no interact for now. Then interact no collect, so switches, and dressers, stuff like that, fridges. And then interact collect, things like diaries. And then version 2, which is I've created a process where a while ago, my version 2 items, where I managed to, rather than do each item and import it like this, for the collectible items, I just did one massive thumbnail thing. I'll show you it now. So firstly, we've got thumbnails. I just did one massive thingy. There we go. One sec, let me just, that's not helpful. There we go. So we've got thumbnails, and then we have, it's this, you know, why don't I just do it again? Let me just start again, sorry. So we've got thumbnails, we've got normal map of the items, not the thumbnails, because the background and the text is missing, and the little thing saying armor piercing and all that stuff's gone. So thumbnails, normal maps of the weapons, the diffuse, well, normal maps of the items, the diffuse maps of the items, and then if I scroll right to the beginning, we have the thumbnails but without the background. So I did it in one big Photoshop file, like that, and I just split it. And then from there, these are all 70 by 70 cubes, well, squares. So I 70 by 70 them, and it looks like this. And some of them I might need to rethink about how I'm doing the bottom center, because it's counting the bottom as the bottom center rather than the bottom there, which I'd want, because I've done it on extract 70 by 70 like this. instead of letting it do it like this, and then bottom center would be the true bottom center, I don't want it to mess it up. Like you see here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 different sprites that's going to create from that. So it's not foolproof. But if I do 70 by 70, it does it as that, nice and neat. There you go. But the problem is, the bottom center is there, not there, or like not there. So yeah, you will see I've done them right at the bottom for the bullet casings. That is because you will. I might change the sprites to have that text at the top, so then everything can be at the bottom. But realistically, for now at least, the bullet casings are not collectible items. So I don't like technically it's in the wrong place, isn't it? But yeah, that's how I've done it. I might put the text at the top and get everything to sit on that bottom line, and then that way bottom center will be effective. But that's how it is for now. With the split, it's much cleaner, as you can see. Items is, at least the sprite side, is much cleaner, and it goes well with the blueprint side of the items, which holds a similar sort of thing. So an interact, no collect, interact, collect. No interact doesn't need a blueprint because you can't interact with it. So that's that. Scenery was originally there. I got rid of it. It's kind of like a no interact, isn't it? I just replaced it with no interact, really. Conscious this video is going on a while because it's quite a monster one, so I'll ramp it up a bit. Remove duplication and redundancy in files and folders. Yes, so I created all these new ones like this in here. I had all the sprites and all the raw textures here, and I had to delete them one by one. But as you can imagine, all this stuff was referencing it, so I had to delete it and then repoint it, or I just have to repoint it and then delete it. Either way, it's fine. One requires like redirector touch-ups. These, so deleting it and then redirecting it is a much more destructive way than swapping it over and then deleting the original, because the original then is not even needed. So that's the best. Swapping it over first is I guess the proper way to do it. Yeah, all the items got normal maps, all the backgrounds, so all the level backgrounds, all the floors. You will see if I play it now. If I turn the light off, you'll see like those little sparkly bits on the floor. They're a slightly lighter color than the default, so they kind of just pop out a bit. There we go. So that's that. That's that one. I did upgrade the fridge actually, because the fridge was originally just like a blank, flat texture, and I give it a bit of like the illusion of like actually being a fridge rather than open it up and it just being a wall. So that's that. I need to update that. Fire. Now the normal map should be quite bright, so is it going to do it? Oh, interesting. Okay, so the fire needs its own light source. This is very much a bug testing thing as anything else doing these videos, so yeah, I'll make a note of all that. And the big migration from 5.3.2 to 4.2, I created a separate branch. I then made it work in the separate branch. I had to fix the solution up in Visual Studio. Then I merged the branches, so there's like this one, and then there's like this one with like an Unreal Extra naming convention. If I just grab it, that one. So got it working on that one, and then I merged those two. That's that. That was an experience. Normal maps, yeah, I changed them all to originally to 2D pixels unfiltered. I then changed it to normal maps. That was that was just to change it on the initial first pass, because it was completely wrong. It didn't have like the nearest neighbor sort of pixel perfect sort of thing. So as you saw when I click nearest in the normal maps, it didn't have that. So that was like almost step one of making it look like a proper normal map. Removing normal. Yeah, this one. This was interesting. Let me go Protagonist version 3 raw. I thought you get like your diffuse texture and you get your normal map texture, don't you? I thought that I needed to do like that, and then do right click extract, and then if it extracts 200 textures here, extracts these, I need to extract the normal maps of them again. I don't. I extract from the diffuse, and they, by the very nature of them, reference where they need to on the normal. So I was able to have my normal maps by just deleting all the normal map sprites. So you need a diffuse texture, a normal map texture, but you only need diffuse sprites, because the diffuse sprites will reference the normal map texture as long as you have underscore n, as long as you have underscore n or underscore normal or whatever you want to put in. Oh, is it here? Let's just see. I'll show you because it might be useful for you. Normal. 1 second. I always get them confused. It's either project or it's editor. Normal. There you go. So you do that, or you do that, and it will be normal. That has got me thinking that if I've ever done underscore not capital N, whether that's caused some drama. So you know what? Let's do it now. I bet that's caused all sorts of trouble without me realising. There we go. So that's that one. Save it. Amalgamate sprite sheets. Yeah, so you saw on this level, quickly, go post, play it. It's off the ground. Not good. You saw here. Oh my god. This is a bug I need to fix. Let me try going into it again. Oh, there we go. This. I did those sprites as all separate. I did like the open sprites and the closed sprites as separate sprite sheets. It was a while ago, so then I just amalgamated it into this. Interact and collect, maintenance draw. Sit down. There you go. Just opens it at the bottom, closes it at the top. And then there you go. We'll need to have another look at the normal map on this. I did not necessarily rush it, but I was just like, I've only got like 5 left to do and I've done hundreds, come on, like that sort of mindset. Yeah, that door thing, interaction thing is a bug, because I've upgraded a bit of the door and one of the older blueprints, and I've fixed something, broke something. So I've amalgamated the sprite sheets for things like that. Tweaks to the ceiling lights. Yeah, the ceiling light. Well, the fan, sorry. Here. It wasn't quite right. There was like sprite 3 and sprite 6 had like an extra 2 pixels on the right, 2 pixels on the left. So it looked like it was shaking, but essentially I just drew too many pixels. So I fixed that up. Same with the desk fan. I noticed the desk fan, the flip book. You see when it pauses to go back, like that, it was missing like one of those like crescent moon sort of, like those where it's not all the way left, not all the way right, it's one step before. It was missing that one of the half crescent things, so I added that extra sprite into the flip book just to get it a bit nicer. I'm conscious it doesn't go all the way right, so I'll look at that again. So that's those two. Zeroing all the floors, yes. All these floors are zero. No, zero. The only exclusions to that fact would be hallway lower and hallway upper, which by their nature, because they have stairs in it, I cannot zero out the floor. I guess I could, but then the stairs would still be above zero anyway. But all the floors of everywhere else is zeroed, allowing me to zero everything else. I tell you, it's massive time saver. Not having to like go, is it like 0.1, 2.3 on the, is it the Z axis? Blue one, up and down. So it's huge time saver. Issue is, if you go from center to bottom center pivot point on your sprites, things will be up in the sky or things will be on the floor, through the floor. So then you've got to realign a bunch of stuff. Yep, created a bucket with water because I migrated it to the bucket item in that item list you saw, the item sheet. The issue being I only had an empty bucket one, so yeah, created a bucket with water in it. Upgraded the flipbox from version 1 to version 2, or the old version 2 to the new version 2, so that means folder rearrangements. That is for, if I just click on items and then if I click on filter for flipbox, these. So yeah, so that is version 1 to version 2 because this has an effective normal map on it now, and before it didn't. You see, I've done like, see this little dark around, like, I guess you call it the stem, or like the stand at the back that holds it up, simply because that wouldn't get as much light compared to the front. These windows are not ideal for checking your normal maps because the lighting is static. It's much better to check your normal maps in game world because you see the right is dark, but the right is not. That's not correct. If you were in the middle and the light was directly above, it would not look dark. So because it's static, almost fake light, you can't get a good understanding of how your normal map's going to play at this point. You need to play it in the game. So like here, see, it looks like that, but you look in the game and it looks like that. I did something a bit clever with this normal map actually. I'll just show you this one, just because I think it was pretty cool what I did. Probably not perfect, probably will change it. I've got to John. I did a gradient for the normal map, you know, to kind of curve it from left to right. Really, I should have done a middle gradient, so then middle's middle, and then middle to left, middle to right, like a 3-point gradient, but I've just did a 2-point left to right to give the illusion of, see if I can show you it. I get the light on. You'll see, depending on how the light is, depends on how it does come up quite pixely, but it's almost like light to dark rather than just being a blanket. Oh, you're looking at the screen, let's make it flat. I've kind of done like a curve left to right. So if you had a flashlight, for example, and you shone it left to right, it would give the illusion of like a slight curve, at least in the lighting effects. I will put in a middle at some point on the texture, because then that will give the illusion that it's middle and curving out left, curving out right, rather than it just being like a left to right curve. Yeah, just playing around with normal maps to control detail rather than diffuse maps, so explicitly drawing the curve. Last one, so I upgraded the projectiles. So you already saw the projectiles in there. If I just grab them, here, there. I upgraded the projectile, so that's the bullet of like the standard pistol there, and then the casing is that, and then the casing is a child of the bullet. So you see they're all nicely connected. So when you fire it, realistically, only the front should fire, shouldn't it? I'm thinking about it. Only the end should fire off. So really, at the moment, the full bullet flies left to right or right to left, or wherever you're aiming, and the casing drops with gravity. If I show you it with a machine gun, I've only, if I've even got it in the level, it's too dark now since doing the normal maps. Where are you? There we go. So we've got, 25 rounds, full auto. You should, let's go in a bit in light. You should see the bullets kind of trickle. Some might fall through the floor, but we'll see. Oh, no. Oh, it's not doing it. One sec. So you can see the new sprite. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, that was one of the first sprites I ever did. It was like a 3-pixel sprite, and now it's a true version 2. It could not be more improved. I will, off the back of this, I will create something to just fire that end capsule of the projectile, because yeah, right now we've got the full bullet and we've got the casing, but realistically we need the full bullet for collection, we need the casing to drop on fire, and we need the bullet tip to be the projectile. So yes, I will add that in. I will write all this up. Let me give you a very quick playthrough. I'm just going to blast through it because it's been a long video. It's been a mission. You'll see the normal maps. I've kind of coloured these elements, so you see the handles kind of shine a bit, and even when I turn the light off, it's just got a bit of a, like, oh, what's that over there, sort of mindset. I'm really proud with, I guess, one of the first normal maps I did here. That looks significantly better than it did with the blanket normal map. Yeah, so if I go in here, there is a bug on. I fixed the door blueprint. I made it better, and then, like I said, I created other bugs. And one of the bugs is it doesn't open and close anymore on the door transition. But yeah, you can see here I've got bit more. You see the toilet lid. It's a bit nicer. You can see like the top of things. A bit cleaner. Yeah, I need to fix this. It's down as a bug list. Go in here. Right, so going this one. This one will look a right mess. I don't even know if it'll load up the assets fully. Kind of. Some of them aren't fully loaded. Fortunately, they're not all trying to like murder me. Sometimes the nav meshes need to refresh, and I haven't refreshed the nav mesh recently, so they don't always move. Barry's bedroom's like the other one. Oh my god. You can see the normal maps kind of making it look a bit nicer there. Flickering lights. The ID cards, I made it really bright on that little light, whether it's blue or whether it's red or green, so it kind of stands out in the darkness. Right, we've got lights, so this is really good. If I do the lights here, apologies, some of the textures haven't fully loaded up. That's why they look a bit pants. If I touch them, they should load up. There you go. But you can really see where the normal comes in. Like, look at the dresser. See, it shines on the right, it comes on the right, but the top is already bright because there's light coming through the window to space. So if I turn all this stuff off, you can still see the light through the window. If I run back, if I go lights on, I move them down, here we go. So you see the light is missing on some of it when you close the shutters. Not perfect, but really getting there. I've tried to put a bit of depth into these into these. Like it actually looks like it might actually be in the wall. Nearly convinced it's in the wall now. And you see when the light turns on, that blue rim becomes brighter. Bit annoying. One sec, sorry. Sorry, I had to cough. Bit annoying. These shelves haven't loaded up fully because I think I've done a really good job. Realised I've just cut you short rather than just going up the level, so I'll just load it up and then I'll probably end the video. There you go. You see, that's how they should load up. It looks so much better. The chairs have a bit more like depth to them. The dresses, the dresses really are going well with the light. What else? Yeah, it's essentially rinse and repeat. There's some assets like here which are still version 1, where you'll be like, Nick, they don't look very good. So you see the chairs and stuff. They're all normal mapped up, but you see they just need more pixels. They're old school stuff. They've moved themselves up again. I did move them down. I've upset it, but you can see like here, I've done like you can see the benefits of a really detailed normal map. These, like, granted the diffuse, I've kind of already drawn a bit of the shadow in the diffuse prior to me making all the normal maps for some of these, but you could see, even then, can I get any closer without messing it up? You can see the difference. And the main thing is, when the lighting changes, it rather than it staying static like that, it'll look different whether you look at it left, right, up, from above, or from below, or directly in front. That's the normal maps are an absolute nightmare to make if you've got loads of them, but at the same time, they're quite enjoyable. You can yield decent benefits of it. That's it. I finished with 1 day to spare, so I can officially still have that as tagged as July 24, the communication interaction. I know on each of the end of these branches, I normally go through what these entail. Because it's quite a long video, I'll probably skip that, and I've discussed these in at least the last 1 to 2 branch vlogs. So I'll just discuss the immediate one. There is a let me get it up and show you what I mean. I'll do the thing on a separate screen. I'll find it and then you'll see what I mean. Hopefully I can find it quickly. If I can't find it quickly, I will just show you another time. I think.
In this video.
No. Is it this? No. Apologies, ignore me. It's wrong video. I can't find it anymore. Jagged Alliance 3. And I guess similar sort of games where it kind of pops up the character sprite on the left, and then your character sprite, and then the talking character sprite on the right, and then there's text in the middle, and that kind of pops up when you go to talk to people, and then when you end it, it just goes back to you playing the game. It's almost like a visual pop-up in the middle, like a widget. That's what I'm wanting to do with this communication interaction. So I go talk to some character, my guy.
Current v0.2.0.8 Jul24 Changelog.
I knew I couldn't get through a video without doing it. I knew I couldn't. He pops up on here, like this bit, and then the person you want to talk to pops up that bit, and then it's a bunch of text, and like option 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. That's what I'm wanting to do for the communication interaction. Again, said it a million times, it's this.
Readme.md File metadata.
No idea why it's done that. Language, it's always been that guy's English voice originally. But that is that, because like I said, Alt-P in Unreal does that, plays it. Alt-P on browser, text to speech. Thank you for your time. It has been really long. I'm hoping to get this one kind of cracked within about 2 weeks. Certainly relatively early into August, because then I want to upgrade that, and then I want to do. Oh, that might get pushed back. But yeah, expect to see the next branch vlog mid-August, and yeah, I'll be more regular now after this monster branch is done. Thank you very much, and goodbye.